Contrast again, and today, guys, I'm here to another anime review, and the review is 2. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Sword Oratoria, episode 1, guys. Okay, guys, let me tell you what this series is about. This is not season 2 to Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, or Daimachi, how you prefer calling it. Or Dungeon Girl, again, how you prefer to call it. But this is not season 2. This is a side story. Like, a certain scientific railgun for a certain series. If you guys know that series. Like, a certain magical index. That is the main anime to, well, the certain series. But, a certain scientific railgun is a side story. A story that is going at the same, well, but telling a different story, but set in with the same characters, and usually focus on a different character that a lot of people liked from the main series, and follows their form of their story, of their own, from them as the main character of their own story, and set in the same time, location, and, well, pretty much set in the same story period as Magic Index, but with same storyline. But that's what pretty much what a side story is. Pretty much is just telling a story from a different person's point of view. In other words, focus on different characters' point of view of the same story, but yet again they're throwing their own story at the same time. Like, and this is what Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Sword Oratoria is. It's a side story, pretty much seen from Ira's point of view of, well, the story of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Of season 1, of course. This is gonna, now, for this episode, it focused on how, a few hours before, or she runs into Belle, before she first ever runs into Belle, and well before and now we now know how the Minotaurs pretty much got away from Iris as a group, and one of them nearly killed and attacked Belle when he first became an adventurer, started out as an adventurer. Now, while in the 50th level, the level 50 pretty much. At level 50, they found a save point. Well, supposed to be a save point. They were they were just camp. They set up camp. They set up Iris's familiar / group, the Loki group, of course. Set up camp so they can prepare to move on to the next level. But then and we get introduced, of course, to the main cast we're going to mostly see during this anime season. Of course, Iris, most all these characters that got, except for one character, this elf girl, that got introduced to this episode. This is what I'm speculating, like, Iris I recognize as the main character. But there's a slight possibility that, this elf girl that got introduced in this episode could also be a very key character. Like, either could actually be the main character, because you sense this protagonist. Like, you sense this protagonist side. Well, the protagonist is Iris. Main character could be, of course, this elf girl. But I don't know all about that. But I think it's Iris, either way, both protagonist and main character of the series. But this girl got introduced, which we never seen at all from Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Well, I don't think I saw her before. She might have been like a side character, like a character you don't even pay, like an extra. She could have been an extra character. She could have been an extra, and I did not notice, or like some form of Easter egg for anybody who actually read the novels of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? But as I'm an only anime watcher, this is my first time seeing her, and I just didn't. And if it was not the first time she was ever got presented in the anime series, then I more had not seen her, and she was pretty much an extra in this series, and I didn't pay attention enough to see her. But I don't remember seeing her at all in this season 1, so she must be a new character got introduced into the series. Now, like I said, now let's get back to what I was talking about. After the introduction of the characters for the series, some members of the Loki familiar part Iris group were about to check the next level, like checking around to see what's pretty much surveying, and scouting, and I could say hunting as well, but surveying the next level to see what's coming up, and which of course is level 51. And then level 51, I take it that's what the level that's going to come. Some monsters were about to come up into a location they thought was a safe zone, and these monsters were running away for something, and suddenly these brand new types of monsters appeared, and these are like caterpillar-based monsters. And you guys should know, if you guys have ever seen caterpillar-based monsters, they're creepy as fuck, especially the ones that can bring out acid and poisons. That's what happened to these like giant ass freaking herd of or group of caterpillar-based monsters. They were like causing destruction, but luckily Isis' group was able to take them down. But these caterpillar monsters made them take serious damage and serious they destroyed quite a lot. Enough that means they had to fall back and retreat. After defeating these caterpillar monsters that were attacking them at the time, after defeating them, they had to fall back because these caterpillar monsters caused major damage to the team, and they had to pretty much go back to the main city so that they can replenish and gain new weapons, items, and heal up. Now, during this, like going back up to pretty much the main world, back up from the previous levels, they end up running into a Minotaur party, a Minotaur group, a Minotaur herd, and they were about to attack them until these two warrior dancer girls. You guys might know her, these two girls from season 1, but they get introduced. They attack them, and the Minotaurs start to run. And not technically run away. What they were doing is that they sensed a level 1 player, a level 1 adventurer in one of the levels above them. So they decide to go up to those levels and try to attack said adventurer, which of course we now know it's Belle that they were about to attack. And luckily for Belle, that Iris was able to take out all of them, especially the one that was about to attack him, which was also the last one that Iris was about to attack. And it ends with pretty much the same scene how it begins of how season 1 of, or the previous season 1 of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in Dungeon? The main story begins. It ends off with that. I felt like, oh my god, that was a good way to end an episode to a side story series. Like I said, to a side story series, I'm glad I like episodes that end off with showing the beginning of a previous episode of the beginning of the previous season, the main regional series. So it just gives you the connection, also the reason why this is not a spin-off, this is actually a side story, because it ends with a scene that actually happened in the original anime. And I'm glad I done that. It just gave me the nostalgia of, remembering how I liked Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon. And also, the beginning part, that little Easter egg section we see Hestia, I did not expect to see a little scene with Hestia straight away. This is side stories. Even the main, in Typical Railgun, it didn't show Toma until episode 3? I think? Maybe 4? Can't fully remember. That's when they showed any characters from Index. Any characters, including a major character from Index, they didn't show those characters until the major key characters until those episodes. And I'm actually shocked that they even revealed that many major key characters from the previous one, where we already we're already expecting not to see that much in the side story. But I would have seen them already in the beginning episode. I was like, hell yeah! Like, just seeing that, like, special. And I was and I'm glad they've done that, because it just gives me that, like, oh, I can't wait for the next episode. And especially the animation. Oh my god, the animation looked good for Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Of course, we already know that Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? They have decent and somewhat good animation, like, for the type of animation art style it does. And it's not the best, of course. It's not the best. I've seen better. But we've got to see the funny animation. Oh my god, that's a way you should start an anime episode. And actually, you should start a side story-based anime, or any other series. But overall, my overall enjoyment to this series, to this episode, I enjoyed it. Especially that I just got a chance to see some characters we've seen from previous Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon. I'm glad they done that. And yeah. And really, that's all I got to say. Anyway, guys, that's my anime review to Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Sword Oratoria. See episode 1. Hope you guys like it. Become channel fans today. If you guys want to send fan mail, go search down below. My address there. And yeah, also become one of my Patreons. If you become my Patreons down there as well. If you want to become a Patreon, help me out so I can get better equipment. Like, especially get my new camera. Like, I'm planning getting, getting it around this Easter time period. Planning to get my new camera, but yeah, if it doesn't, then I'll tell you, it was obvious that I would still be using this if I didn't get my camera in time. But yeah, overall, that's all I've got time for today. Anyway, hope you guys like it, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys!